listen up, y'all. It's the queen of automation, Megan Donnelly, here to give you inspiration. Founders and business owners gather round. I'ma show you how to build systems that'll astound. Streamline your processes, no need for complicated.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Queen of Automation podcast, where we talk about why technology is only good when it works and how I help you make it work. Today we're getting geeky and techie with Ivan Polic, the owner and founder of Jumpstart Your Exit, an agency dedicated to helping 6- and 7-figure founders, you guessed it, exit their businesses with maximum return. Over the past 12 years, he and his advisory board helped more than 1,000 business owners scale past $100 million with a portfolio of $4 billion in sales. Boom! I'm so excited he's here, and I can't wait to talk to him. Let's get started. Welcome, Ivan. Tell everybody where you're tuning in from and say hello.
Hi there. Great to be with you. I'm calling in from Orange County, California. And very nice sunny day today.
Well, this is going to be a really cool take for everybody because I always talk about, before we kind of jump in and talk about all the geeky stuff that nobody wants to actually listen to, I always ask people about the work-life balance kind of thing that's out there right now that everybody talks about, because I personally don't believe in work-life balance. I think it's all life. And when you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, that's even more true, because your personal and business is so intertwined in so many different ways. I can't wait to hear your perspective on this, because you are helping people at a much higher level than where some of these audience, the people who are listening are. And it's going to be really cool to hear this perspective, because these are the people that have kind of gone through all of this growth as entrepreneurs and founders. And now they're like, I'm done. I'm out. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Ivan, help me. I'm assuming these are the conversations you're having with people I don't actually know, but you go, because I would love to hear how they went from, like the hustle to the completely exiting, if that's something we're allowed to talk about. Obviously there are things you can't talk about, but
Yeah, so this is truly our story, because we ran and scaled up an aerospace manufacturing business, a lot of automation, CNC equipment, lots of so, I know the automation topic and the geeking out part, that's there for sure. But at one stage we quadrupled the business. So things are going really well business wise.
Yeah.
But I was just wiped out completely. So there's a moment when the business has grown so much, and it pretty much grows beyond the owner's capacity to support it properly without a strong team. And I found myself in that situation. We had a team, but the team wasn't nowhere near strong enough. So then I was involved in everything. And I remember driving up to the building one day, literally, and I had my hands on the wheel, and I couldn't let go. I couldn't let go of the wheel. I was like, if I walk in there one more time,
I don't want to go inside.
if I walk in there one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. If I hear that one same problem again, I was just burnt out to a crisp, and I was just somewhere in there was so dark that I was like, if I keep pushing here, I'm going to either have a heart attack or stroke, or something is going to break, because I was so done.
Yeah.
And, I vowed to myself, we're going to build this, we're going to build a team, we're going to build a system, and we're going to do it differently, because what's going on here is not sustainable at all. And so that's kind of the story, and that's kind of what I encountered these days with a lot of other people in that same situation. And we build a step-by-step process to help people get out of there, build a team, build a system, use smart automations, and create a business that is not dependent on the owner. Two things happen when that happens is that the owner feels incredible amount of relief, and the quality of their life improves tremendously, and they're available for their family, and they can actually live a normal life.
Ding, ding,
But,
ding, ding.
but at
See,
the same
that's
time,
here first. You heard
yes,
it here. Ivan's telling you right now, automation will save your life. No, I'm just kidding.
well,
It'll
you
save your
can, for
life.
sure, yes. And so, but the second thing that happens beside improving the quality of your life is that your value of your business doubles. Because when people look at potentially acquiring your business, if it's owner dependent, the valuation typically takes a nosedive because
Yeah.
they can't trust it without you, that they can continue this business without you. So those are the good things that happen when you go through this process. And whether you want to exit or not, you can exit operations and continue to own a very valuable business, or you can choose to exit altogether. Many times people change their mind. They say they want to exit altogether, but then once
Yeah.
the business is stable without him, they're like, maybe not, maybe not. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the kind of situation that happens.
Let's like unpack it a little bit for some of the smaller businesses out there, right? So because I am truly in this business of operations and automation and trying to help the like multi six figures that are just starting to feel that pain, make their lives simpler by using tools and technology. And it doesn't even necessarily has to be technology, just systems and processes of how you do things on a repeatable basis. That's the same way, right? And so you can train other people to do it for you, like you were just saying. I truly believe that you can start a business, grow a business, and exit a business all while still having a life. You have to accept technology. You have to accept systems and processes from the very beginning. And you know what? The biggest thing that I always tell people, and I would love to hear your opinion, stop working on the shit that you hate to do. If you hate to do something so much, and I would love to hear a story, because I know you have one, because we talked about it a little bit, not in depth, but if you really truly hate to do something, automate it or outsource it. Stop doing it, because if you hate to do it, you're going to procrastinate, and it's going to be poor quality, and it's going to take you like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times longer to get that task done. And everything that Ivan just talked about, like, is so crucial when you do hit the 7-figure mark. If you don't have this stuff in place, putting it in place once you hit 7 figures and beyond is so much harder. If you get ahead of it now and you start to implement these things beforehand, I'm going to let him tell you how much easier it would be if when you come to Ivan and you say, Ivan, look at all this stuff I've already got. And he goes, awesome, let's turn the switch on. Like, it would just be so much easier if they came to you with this like nice silver platter of all the things that they've already done, and you were able to just kind of move the levers around a little bit, right? Am I right?
For sure. It's very wise what you're saying, and starting sooner rather than later helps. The longer that you've been buried, the longer that you've been hardwired into your business, the more difficult it is to let go. Many times, founders are extremely capable and multidimensional individuals. That's why they're able to grow a business like that. And so when they grow it and they ensure the quality and they are touching every piece, and then they're creating an invoice and they're delivering the product and they're marketing the product and they're involved in the entire process, they get reinforced and conditioned on how amazing this thing is that they created. It's their baby. They created this thing. It's working. It's serving people. It's so great. We got the 3 customers, the 7 customers. We got the 15 clients, we got the 20. And next thing you know, you're 50 plus, 100 plus, and what you
Boom.
used to be able to do, you're no longer able to do. But there's a kind of a previous conditioning that's saying, oh, I got to ensure that invoice is correct. And I got to ensure that thing is, so I got to check. And even though you may have already 20, 30 people on the team, you're still kind of have that sense of pride and control, actually a little bit of identification. You're kind of identified with your business, and my business is me and I am my business. And that whole kind of very fused perspective, it's a little bit, you can bond with your business, but if your bonding turns into bondage, it may not be the best thing. And so that's kind of what we deal with on it. It's a little bit of the inner world processing.
Yeah.
How do I see it? How do I feel it? Where am I? Who am I? And what is my business? And all those things, we call that the inner world shift. An inner world shift is required in order for you to open the possibilities to building this thing in a more sustainable way, and to treat it more as a part of your life and not your entire life.
It's a tool. Yeah.
So that's a little bit of the inner world shift. The second shift that we focus on then, after we make some progress in opening, is the operating system shift. And that's probably where you come in a big way, with all the potential shortcuts and possibilities. Yes. And so the operating system shift is huge in our approach. And then the final shift is the marketplace shift, which then deals with finding the buyer, improving the price, improving the value, continuing to increase the value of your team, and all those things. So this is how we do it. And it's always interesting and never a dull moment.
What is I'm so glad you went there. So yes, quite obviously the operations shift and the systems, that's my favorite part, right? Because that's what I do. But what is, I would love to know from your perspective at that level, like once you hit that $5 million level, I feel like yes, hitting $1 million, there's a shift. And every stage there's a shift. But once you hit that $5 million level, and I think I know what you're going to say, but I want to hear you say it. What's that fundamental kind of operations systems that you're finding like, oops, we don't have this, and we should have had this like a way long time ago. And now we're going to try and scramble and put this in place so that we can then turn around and either sell or grow or, whatever that next step may be.
Well, excuse me. Several things that occur at that $5 million level is that everything is amplified, and everything is too much to be handled the old way. So all of a sudden, maybe you were the one involved in every sale. Maybe you're maybe it's a high level service and you're the one that touched every client, and now all of a sudden you have to have other people doing it because there's just not enough of you to go around. Or you may be a genius in marketing, or maybe you control the finance and you were the CFO and the CEO. But all of a sudden that's no longer, it's an option, but you'd be there like 20 hours a day. And so at some point you need to start prioritizing which pieces are you going to start giving up. You need to start letting go of certain hats that you're wearing, and that's very important. And then if someone else is going to do it, how are they going to know how to do it? Because you don't, many times we have something called the success DNA that we dive into. What is the success DNA of this business? And it's usually related to the founder in some way. So certain specific formula that he uses, how he thinks, how she thinks, how she makes the thing go, what are the steps, what is the character, what is the special sauce.
And it's written on a bar napkin in his desk
Believe it or
drawer
not,
with lock and key, or not
believe it
written down anywhere at all.
it's not written down at all most of the time. And so it doesn't, there is no recipe. It's a completely unconsciously competent process for the founder. And so
SOPs, man. SOPs, guys. I'm going to tell you this right here. What he is talking about. What he is talking about, and you've heard me talk about it before. You've heard me say it. Create SOPs. It is so easy to create an SOP. You pop open Loom, and you literally step by step with your mouse, you go through the exact process, step by step by step by step, and it tells you exactly how you're doing it so that you can show somebody else how to do it. They watch the video, they now know, oh, that's how Megan did this. Oh, that's how Ivan made that happen. And Loom now has Loom AI, which makes it even cooler because what it does is it takes the transcript of the video and it turns it into an SOP document with the key takeaways and the step-by-step. I mean, this is not hard, and you can do it for free. Loom is free, guys. Just get it. Get Loom. Start creating the SOPs, because if you ever want to take a vacation as an entrepreneur, you have to teach somebody else how to do the things that only you know how to do. I'm horrible at this. My team will tell you that. I'm awful at this because I have been building things. I am a very creative, and I have an analytical mind and a creative mind, which is why I'm considered a unicorn. And I build automations and technology totally different than anyone else because I'm not so analytical like a developer. I'm mixing the two worlds together. So the process of finding somebody else to my exit strategy, which is what I know you've heard Darren talk about this. We're in this great group called Brand Built, and Darren, one of the co-founders, keeps asking me what my exit strategy is. And I'm like, I don't know. I have to find another me. I'm like, and so I'm going to have to train somebody to use that part of their brain, because right now I'm the only one in my little small team that builds the way I build. So I'm going through exactly what you're saying right now because I fully am aware that I am the bottleneck. So I have to remove myself from the situation, and I've started doing that in the last 6 months. So it's super cool to hear you talk about that. Guys, I am nowhere near the clients that he's taking on, and I am already starting this process of removing myself from the situation. My team runs the entire company while I'm not there. So having a team is so worth it. Having automation is so worth it. It's start now. Start now, because once you hit the point where you hit that wall, you can't do it anymore and you get burnout, it is so much harder to make it happen. So listen to everything he's saying, because it is crucial to start the process as early as you can. And I understand people are afraid and they think it's going to be really expensive. It does not have to be expensive. You can do it in a cost-effective way. Ask for help. Like if you ask a friend or a mentor for help, join a group like we're in, like a networking group of community of like-minded peers that are at that same level. It doesn't have to be ungodly expensive to do this, but it should be done. Start looking at it now, especially if you want to exit ever in the future.
Absolutely. I wanna address the unicorn piece. So most founders are unicorns because it takes a kind of a special human to go through the iteration process, what it takes to build a real business. And once the system is proven out and there's success and there's things, it usually goes years of iteration and genius that was put into that special sauce to make it work. By the time that person, like you, Megan, considers to replace themselves, when they start considering what all they do and all the genius that they possess, replacing themselves becomes like an impossible task. Okay, and so we found a hack for this problem. And the hack is to look for 3 to 5 people to replace.
just going to say I need at least two people. I need a right brain and a left brain, and they can work together, and it'll be fine.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I
So
need a person to lead them.
yeah. So 3 to 5 people is usually something we recommend. You can do fractional people. You can do outsource people. You can do VA can do some of it. Yeah, but thinking that it has to be the one person is a big hurdle, and it doesn't have to be the one person, and usually is not going to work because the unicorn, we're each a unique snowflake, and it's not going to happen. You need several people, and you need several systems, and you need to make sure that they all fit. Uh, the most basic structure of a stable team is a triad. Okay, so that's something that's very important. So triangle offense for the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson. That wasn't by accident. They ran a triangle offense. Is the smallest sustainable structure that can have good teamwork. So
That's
two
what
people
I'm
can.
working on right now.
Yeah, two people is not, it's not stable enough. You need the third leg of the stool, and when you think of how you're going to build your sustainable team, think of a group of three. This came out of continual burnout of our leaders in our business, and as the business was growing, it was just a monster. It would eat people up. They would be great for a while, and then then they just burnt out. And so then eventually we got onto this triadic kind of leadership structure, and that's a much better way to go.
What do you think about this? So what I've been talking a lot about lately, just in the past couple of months, because I had this kind of pandemonium shift with some people that some customers now / networking partners, if you will, that have turned into these amazing partnerships, right? So to me, like, the old form of networking is kind of dead, in the sense that, yes, you should network. You should talk to as many people as you can out there. Use LinkedIn, go to events, whatever you want to do. But I am actually finding that I would rather build partnerships than a large networking audience. It's not that, and I'm still going and doing the networking thing and building that networking audience. But what you just said totally plays off of what I'm going to say right now. Build partnerships. Find people that you can mutually exchange and swap ideas, information, and services. I am more than willing to offer up operations, services, advice, strategies, all of those things to people who are willing to partner with me and do the same. And I am more than willing to do this multiple times over. This isn't like I'm going to help you one time, Ivan, and then I'm going to go away and you're going to go away. We're never going to talk to each other. I'm talking like continuous partnerships, because I can tell you right now, it is more valuable for me to have this conversation with Ivan. We take this offline, we build a partnership, and a week later, somebody comes to him and says, well, I can't afford you, Ivan, but I'm looking for operations help here. And he's going to, you know what he's going to say? You should talk to my friend Megan, because she's got this thing going and she's helping people that are at the level right below me. That's my partnership, right? So that is how Ivan and I are going to do that. So do that. Find people like that in your network and partner with them. Because I can tell you, those relationships that I've built and customers that I've received from those referrals are 10 times more valuable than a cold email, a cold DM, a cold call, a cold anything. Those people come to me ready to work, ready to put the effort in, ready to go. And so when you're this is just another kind of thing to like layer on to this whole thing that we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes. Find partnerships, build partnerships with people that are at the next level. This is why I'm talking to people like Ivan and Darren and Nat and all of the people that I'm talking to, because these are the people that I want in my inner circle, and they are at the next level. These are the people that I'm asking questions to. These are my mentors that if I have a question, I'm going to go and talk to these guys because they've been there, done that, and they have a little bit more experience than I do. Okay, a lot more. But they're there, right? Like those are the people you need in your life. So, yes, do all of the things, go and talk to all the people, sell all your stuff. But I'm telling you right now, as part of this whole, if you ever want to exit, if you ever want to exit successfully, I should say, this is one of the things that you also want to do, because you're going to need people. You are going to need people, especially the larger your company grows, right? Like, you need people in your corner and you need people to talk to. It gets really lonely really quickly. Would you agree?
For sure. It gets really lonely. And if you're in the ownership position, you cannot have all the conversations you need to have with your team because it gets very sensitive. And so, but there are things you need to talk to your team about. So building a team and building a group that can support you is very, very important.
Yeah, strong teams are. I'm working on that triad right now. I'm doing it. So there's three of us. I mean, we technically have five, but there's three main people, and you can't see her right now. Wave to Andrea. She's behind the scenes. She's dealing with all the audio. I'm very picky and choosy about who I hire, and there's a pretty good vetting process. Like, I go through people, and I give them challenges, and I kind of throw stuff out. And I'm sure you're the same way. You have to be, because of the people that you're working with, the level that you're at. You have to be strategic about who you bring onto your team and who you let into your life, right? I mean, it's the same as your personal life. And I don't know, this is very cool. This was super, super exciting. I am so glad that you decided to jump on. We're almost at time. So I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, how they can reach out to you and talk to you, and all of those things.
You can find both us and Megan on LinkedIn every day. So look us up on LinkedIn. We're very active. We're giving away all kinds of support, advice, tools, all kinds of things. We're going to be on there for the long term. You can also find us on our website, jumpstartyourexit.com. You can see kind of case studies in our advisory board and all kinds of good things. So those are the two great places. And thank you for having me on, Megan. It was a lot of fun. And I wish you all the best on building your team and building a sustainable business that runs perfectly without you.
Well, that is a wrap, everybody. And remember, technology is only good when it works. And we will see you next week. Thank you so much.